Now in unit 11 p block elements, we start 11.7 electrons of carbon, but one line is remaining here in catenation properties. That just you see in your textbook. Bond C, single bond C, bond enthalpy is kilojoule per mole is given 348, which is the higher. Silicon bond 297, germanium bond 260, Sn dash Sn, that is Sn bond Sn 240. So here we can say that here bond enthalpy is decreases when we move carbon to tin. Lead does not show any catenation property. Remember, lead does not show any catenation property. Due to property of catenation and p-pi bond formation, carbon is able to give certain allotropic or say so allotropic forms. So what is meaning of allotropes? First of all, just we understand that word. So here allotropes means what? So first of all, allotropes of carbon means what? Carbon is there, but they contain different types of, we can say that, properties. Suppose we think about allotropes of oxygen. So allotropes of oxygen is a two. One is a dioxygen, which we take in inhalation. Okay, which we take inhalation, which is a very, we can say that, fruitful for our health. Tree also leaves dioxygen. Okay, and that's why this oxygen is a very useful to human being in inhalation process. But ozone is there. Ozone O3. O3 is a very important layer to depletion layer to protect from ultraviolet rays from sun to reach at earth. Okay, reach to the earth. Sorry, and due to that we can say that suppose ozone we take in inhalation, then we are to become just our heartbeat or say we are in trouble. Our health is not too much good. Okay, inhalation is if we take more, so we are in a depression mood. Okay, so we are become victim of any disease. One is a very useful property, another is a very harmful property, and that is considered as allotropes. So here allotropes of carbon is, we can say that, mainly two. Which one are they? They are diamond and graphite. Okay, mainly two, but many allotropic forms are there. Just like charcoal. Okay, activated charcoal is there, and another form is a diamond. Another form is a graphite. Okay, so this graphite and diamond we learn many times. But third also one allotropes of carbon is introduced. Okay, so many allotropic forms, both crystalline as well as amorphous. Diamond and graphite are two well-known crystalline forms of carbon. In 1985, third form of carbon known as fullerenes. Remember, fullerenes. Its name itself indicates certain things. Fullerenes. Okay, this is the third allotropic form of carbon. Was discovered by H.W. Kroto, E. Smalley, and R.F. Kull. And they got Nobel Prize. They got Nobel Prize in 1996. And this is a very good, we can say that, achievement. And here, this fullerene also known as Buckminster, or say Buckminster. Okay, Buckminster fullerene. And this Buckminster name is introduced maybe in Italy or in America. There is a dome is present, domes. And that domes is just like, we can say, structure of fullerenes. Okay, structure of fullerenes. And due to that, they according to their, we can say that, remembering form, or we can say that according to their particular introduction of these domes which is present, it is just like structure of fullerenes. And that's why this is introduced by Buckminster. Name of one scientist is there, and due to that they tribute to this name according to the name of Buckminster fullerene. Okay, and that is baby ball C60 carbon containing fullerene. So this allotropic form is, we can say that maximum fullerene is C60, C35 is also obtained. Okay, there is carbon, that is 60 carbon is present, 35 carbon is present, and another we can say that 350 carbon is also present. and which is a very rarely known. Okay, so this is all about allotropic form of carbons. Now we introduce here diamond. You know this one, diamond is forever. It's a very good sentence, and you know that it's the hardest substance. Okay, so it is a crystalline lattice. This diamond is a crystalline lattice. Each carbon atom, just you see, suppose we consider this carbon atom, okay, having sp3 hybridization. That means what? This carbon atom attached with another 4 carbon atom. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this one is another with, we consider 4. That means this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, this is a 1, 2, this is a 2, 3, 4. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So just to see, this carbon having which hybridization? sp3 hybridization. That means that covalence is completely shared with another carbon atom. Okay, and that's why we can say that here electron is sharing between carbon, carbon, carbon. Here also carbon is there. Here also carbon is there. That means there is a 4 orbital containing we can say electron is used in a covalence. So that's why here which bond is present? Covalent bond is present, and this bond becomes strong, and the bond length between this particular carbon is, according to alkene, we know that 154 picometer. So you remember this one, and due to that, this carbon also joined with another 3 carbons. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this carbon is also another 3 carbon. So each carbon, or say each and every carbon attached with another 4 carbons. So this carbon attaches 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Okay, and that's why it becomes, we can say that, a very rigid structure. Okay, very rigid structure. There is no any, we can say that, bond any free electron. It's a very important one. Free electron, because all electrons are used in a we can say preparation of bonds, in a bonding process, and that's why there is no any free electron. If free electron is not there, then it's a bad conductor of electricity. So it's a well known, we can say that it becomes very easy for you to understand this one, and due to that this bond is a covalent and is a strong bond. So each carbon atom undergoes sp3 hybridization and linked to 4 other carbon atoms by using hybridized orbitals in tetrahedral fashion. The C single valence bond length is 154 picometer. Just like tetrahedral, just you see, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, and another this carbon. This carbon and another 3 carbon. So this is a carbon, this carbon, this carbon, this carbon, and this carbon. And that's why tetrahedral is there. Why sp3 hybridization is there? You have to learn this one in a chemical bonding, but just you see, carbon Z is equal to 6, He 2s1 to px1 to py1 to pz1. This is electronic configuration according to which considered in excited state. Okay, and that's why this 2s to px to py and to pz bonded with another carbon atom. So there is no any free electron, and that's why when they are, we can say that, bond together, at that time this become hybrid, and that's why this bond orbital is not same with 2s. It is considered as sp3 hybrid orbital. This is a one sp3 hybrid orbital, this is another, and this is another. So here 4 sp3 hybridized orbital is obtained, which is arranged in a tetrahedral fashion. Okay, so this is a very simple. If you understand electronic configuration and from that how bond is formation takes place, then it becomes very easy for you. Another, the structure extends in shapes and produces a rigid 3-dimensional network. Just as 3 dimension, this dimension is not fixed, of carbon atoms. Rigid, just you see, this word is very important. In this structure, directional covalent bonds are present. Directional covalent bonds are present throughout the lattice. Okay, there is no any place. Very difficult to break extended covalent bonding, and therefore diamond is hardest substance on the earth. Very, very simple. Very difficult to break because strong bond is there. So if strong bond is there, it becomes very break. When we hammer it, it is not break very easily. Okay. So it's a very important uses. An abrasive for sharpening hard tools. Okay, abrasive, just like iron to become sharpened, and that type of is done with the help of diamond. In making dyes and in the manufacture of tungsten filament. You know this one, tungsten filament, which is present in a bulb for electric light bulbs. Okay, so this is a very, very important use. Diamond forever, you know this one, and diamond is a hardest substance on the earth. Okay, and that's why it's demand more. Diamond demand D and D. Okay, so here it is a very important allotropes of carbon, which is discussed in your NCERT book, and this is a very, very important. Okay, remember crystalline lattice structure. This sp3 hybridization you have to learn in chemical bonding also. But it becomes very easy for you. This is a 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz orbital is there. They are hybridized, and due to that this is not 2s orbital. This is considered when they are bonded with another carbon atom, they sharing that carbon atom electrons. At that time this is considered as sp3 hybridized orbital. Okay, so 4 sp3 hybridized orbital, and that's why it is considered as s and p3. Okay, and that's why sp3 hybridization takes place. And that's why here no double bond is there. Okay, there is no any free electron, and that's why it's a bad conductor of electricity. You have to write it here also. Bad conductor of electricity. What is the reason? Because there is no any free electron present. So write it completely according to NCERT textbook and prepare it. Okay, now next allotropes of this carbon atom is graphite. Graphite has layer structures. Remember, it's a hexagonal type structure is there, and it's a layer structure. Just you see here, this carbon atom is attached with another 3 carbon atom. Once again, this carbon atom attached with another 3 carbon atom. This is a 1, 2 and 3. So 1 electron is left. So understand from this particular electronic configuration, carbon Z is equal to 6, 1s2, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1 in excited state. Okay. Now another we can say that here due to that 3 carbon is formed bond, and that's why this is an He core. This 2s, 2px, 2py, 2pz, they contain 1 electron. But here how many carbons take part in bonding? Only 3. That's why this is a 1, 2 and 3. And that's why hybridization is which one? sp2 hybridization. And this is considered as non-bonding electron, which is considered form between 2 layers. They form pi bond. Okay, so it's a very easy topic. sp2 hybridized. This orbital is considered as sp2. This is sp2, and this is also sp2 hybridized orbital. And that's why we can say that here bond length between this carbon and this carbon is 141.5. But just to see, this is the first layer. This is considered as layer A. This is considered as layer B. This is considered as once again layer A. Okay, so just you see, this layer and this layer are the same. Okay, and due to that, between this carbon to this carbon, bond length is 340 picometer, which is considered as van der Waals force. It is due to van der Waals force they forming pi bond. Remember, so here it is very, very important. Between 2 layers, there is a free electron is present. Okay, free electron in 2pz orbital is present, and that's why it's a good conductor. Okay, of we can say that electric conduct. Okay, so here graphite has layer structure. This is a layer 1, this is a layer, this A, this is a layer B, and this is layer A. A and A, they are same. Okay, and due to that we can say, suppose we consider this layer according to my hand, okay, between another layer is there, and that's why they are moving on particular layers, and that's why layers are held by van der Waals forces. Van der Waals forces is nothing but attraction, intermolecular attraction, okay, intermolecular attraction, we can say layer attraction, and due to that van der Waals forces and distance between two layers is 340 picometer. Each layer is composed of planar hexagonal, just you see this is a hexagonal structure is there, so planar hexagonal rings of carbon atom, C single bond C bond length within the layer is 141.5 picometer. Each carbon atom in hexagonal ring undergoes sp2 hybridization, that I explained it here, and makes 3 sigma bonds. So they form 3 sigma bonds. This is a suppose this carbon is there, so this is a 1, 2 and 3. So 3 sigma bond, another pi bond is bonded with another layers containing carbon atom, and they are just like in a benzene, planar is there, due to that overlapping is occurred. 3 sigma bonds within 3 neighboring carbon atom. Fourth electron form a pi bond. The electrons are delocalized over the whole sheet. That means suppose we consider this sheet number 1 and this sheet number 2, okay, or say layers, this is considered as sheet. So due to that they are just moving toward delocalized over the whole sheet. Electrons are mobile, they are moving, and therefore graphite conducts electricity along the sheet. Electricity along the sheet. Graphite cleaves easily. Due to that, graphite becomes soft, okay, and due to that they are moving from layers to the layers, and that's why graphite cleaves easily between the layers, and therefore it is very soft and slippery. Very soft and slippery. For this reason, graphite is used as a dry lubricant in machine running. In machine running at higher temperature, or say at high temperature, in which where oil cannot be used as a lubricant. So it's a well lubricant, okay. And we consider high temperature is there, and suppose temperature is high, suppose oil we use, it becomes explosive, okay, it ignite easily, and that's why here just you see this carbon containing graphite, they are not ignite. So it is used, and a graphite is used as a dry lubricant in machine running at high temperature. Okay, now here draw this figure from your textbook. It is a very easy, and this is known as structure of graphite in 3 dimensions. Okay, so this is a layer containing, or say layer structure. Van der Waals forces are there. Distance between two layers is 340 picometer. Remember, and each layer is composed of planar hexagonal rings of carbon atom. C single bond C bond length within the layer is 141.5. Hexagonal ring undergoes sp2 hybridization and takes place 3 sigma bonds, okay, and makes 3 sigma bonds with 3 neighboring carbon atom. Fourth electron form a pi bond with another layer, just you see, pi bond. The electrons are delocalized over the whole sheet. Electrons are mobile, and therefore graphite conducts electricity along the sheet. It's a very easy topic. Graphite leaves easily between the layers. Why graphite is break very easily? So, and therefore it is very soft and slippery. For this reason, graphite is used as a dry lubricant in machine running at high temperature, where oil cannot be used as a lubricant. So this is all about graphite. Just you write down from your NCERT textbook and draw this figure. Okay. And now we see last electrons of carbon, and that is nothing but fullerenes. Now another electrons of carbon, 11.7.3 fullerenes. So this fullerenes is prepared by, we can say that, heating graphite in an electric arc in the presence of inert gas, He or Ar, helium or argon. Why? Because suppose we do not provide this type of inert gas at that time, suppose in air oxygen is there, it is directly reacts with graphite and produce carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, and that's why it is required to create this type of inert gas, or say electric arc. You have to spark it, and heating is required, and that's why fullerene is obtained, that is symbol is Cn. The sooty material. Why it is sooty material? Because this fullerene is aromatic substance. So remember this. The sooty material formed by condensation of vaporized C and small molecules consist of mainly C60 with small quantity of C70 and traces of fullerenes consisting of even numbers of carbon atoms up to 350 or above. C35 is not possible, just you correct it. C70, C60 and C350. You correct it, so C350 or above. This type of allotropes are just observed. Okay. Fullerenes are the only pure form of carbon because they have smooth structure without having dangling bonds. What is dangling bond? This carbon is attached with carbon atom, this carbon, it is called dangling bond. In graphite we consider this carbon and another, it is considered as dangling bond. So this dangling bond is not presented here. Cage-like molecule, C60 molecule has a shape like soccer ball, okay, or football, and called Buckminster fullerene. That history just I gave information about Buckminster. Okay, so you need dome is there and dome is present, and that dome according to tribute of that particular scientist, the Buckminster. Okay, and that's why we write Buckminster fullerene. Okay, so here this is the structure of fullerene. Here we consider pentagonal and hexagonal rings are present. Just you see, this is considered as pentagonal and this is considered as hexagonal. So pentagonal is surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5, 6, 30. So here we can say that 20 is there. So why? It contains 26 member ring because of compact structure. It's going on and on. Okay, so just like football. So it contains 26 member rings and 12 5-member rings. Remember, 26 member rings and 12 5-member rings. 6-member ring is fused with 6 or 5-member ring, but a 5-member ring can only fuse with 6-member ring. It is not fused with 5-member ring. Okay, so this is you have to remember. Can only fuse with 6-member ring. Just you see, these are 6-member ring is there. They are fused with another. We can say that 5-member ring as well as 6-member ring. But 5-member ring, just you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's why pentagonal is there only. So this pentagonal containing 5-member ring can be only fused with 6-member rings only. All the carbon atoms are equal and they undergo sp2 hybridize. These carbon atom attach with maximum how many carbon number of atom? 3, and that's why here which hybridization takes place? sp2. Another carbon containing electron, they spread all over the molecule, and that's why here molecular orbital is also obtained. Each carbon atom forms 3 sigma bonds. You know very well. Here 1 sigma bond, here 2 sigma bond, and here 3 sigma bond. Same way. This carbon, so 1, 2, 3. This carbon, so 1, 2, 3. That's it. So here each carbon atom forms 3 sigma bonds with other 3 carbon atoms. The remaining electron at each carbon is delocalized in molecular orbitals, which turns give aromatic character. What is meaning of aromatic character? When the substance heat in a porcelain paste, on a porcelain paste, at that time it burns with sooty flame. Black fumes or say black particles containing carbon is present at here. If white fumes is there, it is considered as aliphatic compound. But here these are aromatic character to molecule. Here 60 vertices and here total how many vertices is there? 60 vertices, and each one is occupied by one carbon atom. So 60 vertices is present and each one occupied by one carbon atom. C single bond C bond length is 143.5. C double bond C bond length is 138.3 picometer, and that's why this structure is a spherical, just like we considered football, just like soccer ball, and that's why it is considered as bucky ball. So the structure of C60 Buckminster fullerene is here. Just to draw from your textbook, it's a compact structure. It's going on and on, but here just I introduced certain pentagonal and hexagonal ring, how they are fused. But this is not over. It's a 3-dimension, and that's why here you have to remember it contains 26 member ring and 12 5-member ring. Okay, so this is all about here fullerenes, and another topic is remaining according to delta FH, formation enthalpy. So that we discuss later on. Just to take a screenshot and write it from your NCERT textbook. So here allotropic form with respect to formation enthalpy in terms of kilojoule per mole. So here graphite is there. You know that according to thermodynamic it is a more stable. Due to that delta H formation, or say formation enthalpy is considered as 0. Remember, when formation enthalpy means what? This graphite is having different form, and that is considered as formation enthalpy. So most stable is there. So this is we consider it's a 0. Diamond is we consider stability is decreases. So 1.90 delta FH, and fullerenes is 38.1, which is a very high. Okay, so this is a most we consider least stable. This is a we consider least stable than graphite. Okay, but more stable than fullerenes, and graphite is the most stable according to allotropes of carbon atom. Okay, so here other forms of elemental carbon like, which are another form of elemental carbon: carbon black, coke, and charcoal. Remember, carbon black, coke, and charcoal all are impure forms of graphite or fullerenes. All are impure forms of graphite or fullerene. So here preparation of carbon black, hydrocarbon when we burning with and heating in a limited presence of limited air. Okay, so it gives carbon black. And another wood or coal, high temperature in absence of air, it gives charcoal and coke. So read it completely according to your textbook. So here hydrocarbons when we burn or say heat in the presence of supplying limited air, it gives carbon black, and wood or coal when at high temperature in absence of air, it gives charcoal and coke. So this is all about allotropes of carbon in terms of diamond, graphite, and fullerenes. So this topic is over. Now we switch on towards next topic, that is uses of carbon. Okay, now last topic of your this particular lecture number 8, 11.7.4, uses of carbon. So first of all we learn about graphite, then we followed by charcoal, and then carbon black, coke, and diamond. So here graphite fibers embedded in plastic material form high strength lightweight composites. This is very important. So graphite fibers are then embedded in a plastic material form high strength lightweight composites. The composites are used in products such as tennis rackets, fishing rods, aircrafts, and canoes. Canoes means what? You know that top. Okay, so canoes, aircrafts. Okay, so it's a very important. Being a good conductor, graphite is used for electrodes. In batteries, in dry cell, it is used batteries, and in industrial electrolysis. So it's very important. Another crucibles, which is a very important apparatus in a laboratory. Crucibles made from graphite are inert to dilute acids and alkalis. That's why it's made up of graphite. Another, for charcoal, being highly porous, activated charcoal is used in absorbing poisonous gases. So it's a very important. You have to learn in standard 12, chapter number 5, surface chemistry. So absorbing poisonous gases also used in water filters to remove organic contaminators. Okay, or organic contaminators, and in air conditioning system to control odor. Whatever odor is present, that odor is absorbed by this charcoal. So this is very important. And carbon black. This carbon black is black pigment in black ink and as a fillers in automobile tires. Coke as a fuel and largely as a reducing agent in metallurgy. And diamond, precious stone. You know this one, diamond forever. Once again, the precious stone and used in jewelry. Okay, jewelry. It is measured in carats. Jewelry. Is it clear? It is measured in carats. So 1 carat is equal to 200 milligram. So this is a uses of graphite charcoal, carbon black, oak and diamond. So you write it completely from your NCERT textbook. Remember, it may be asked in your examination in the form of match the following or uses of carbon or which particular pair is wrong from the following. So write it completely according to the NCERT textbook. So lecture number 8 now we are complete. Thank you very much. Take a screenshot.